Hey guys, how you doing? I miss your little faces so much. This is not the same at all. Um, you may have noticed this beautiful hair. For those of you that do not show your video when you're doing Zoom calls or Schoology conferences, I want you to remember this. This is Rona Hair Don't Care. That's where we are. It's kind of like a cross between Princess Leia and a teddy bear. I'm not really sure. You probably noticed we didn't have a Kahoot competition this Friday. I really apologize for that. There were some things I had going on. I had some other meetings I needed to be in, and the timing just didn't work out. And it's more fun when Mr. Miracle does it too. So I need to make sure we schedule ourselves with that. I know I'm going up north this Friday, so maybe we can do it earlier in the week. Not sure. I'll have to talk to him. And I've noticed that, alarm. I've noticed that not a lot of people are showing up to the Schoology office hours that I have, which is totally fine. You'll need to come there if you have questions or you really want to see me. But just want to remind you that we're there 12 to 1 Mondays and Wednesdays, and you just go to the little conferences button app in Schoology and then click on the correct conference to join, and then I'll let you in. Usually I get to see a couple faces, but I didn't see any this time. In Mr. Miracle's office hours, sometimes kids just sit there and do their work and they sit quietly together, and it's kind of like being in the classroom. So just some thoughts. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you about what happened in chapters 13 through 16 before we move on to 17 through 20, which would mean we would be 2/3 of the way through the book at this point. I want to remind you that the characters are going to be really confusing still, and you need to pay attention to who they are, and you might need to go back to the video I made or the PowerPoint that has the character description so you can remember who they are. I do have this little thing that would normally be hanging in my classroom, but we don't have a bulletin board here. So this is actually Sunset Towers that I blew up, and then I wrote in there like what's in each place, and I kind of color coded it so you could see. So I will take pictures of that and post pictures of that on there so you can kind of at least get a layout of what the building looks like and who's on each floor and it'll just make it maybe a little bit easier. And I'm going to try to find some sort of chart that has information on like each character. I didn't want to put it up. I have one, but I didn't want to put it up too soon because you didn't know a lot of the stuff about the characters yet. But you should now by the time you watch this. Anywho, so we're starting in chapter 13. So in 13, we remember that the coffee shop is being repaired because a bomb went off there. So everybody is eating upstairs at Shinhu's restaurant. And that is where the second bomb goes off. So the bomber has set one there. So before the bomb goes off, everyone's hanging out in there. And I believe this was the time that Grace put everybody, kind of paired them up differently, or maybe that was before, I don't remember. But Theo is with Angela, and they're talking about college and all that. And Angela tells him that she had to drop out of medical school because her parents didn't have enough money to pay for it. And now she has to marry Denton Deer, which we get the vibe that she's not really interested in that up to this point. That's kind of like what we've seen. Judge Ford, somewhere along the way, has learned that Flora Bombeck was the one who was making the wedding gown for Violet Westing, so Sam Westing's daughter. So the one who was making Angela Wexler's wedding dress, that's a tongue tie, is the same one who made it for Violet Westing. So at this point, they're all kind of chatting around, and another firework bomb goes off. It goes off in the kitchen, and Sidel is injured in this one. So her foot or ankle is actually injured, and she ends up having to go to the hospital, and Angela goes and wants to accompany her. And her mom is like, no, why don't you, like, no? And Angela's like, yeah, I'm going. And her mom's like, oh, yeah, of course she would go. She's your partner. So she's clearly worried about how things look, and Angela's more worried about her partner. Like, is she okay? Then we roll on into chapter 14, and remember, everyone's been snowed in at Sunset Towers up until this point. Well, the roads are finally clear, but that is where the luck is ending for these heirs. Remember that Turtle Wexler and Flora Bombeck are partnered, and they think that their clues are for the stock market. So they have invested their $10,000 in the stock market, and the stock market is plummeting and they are losing a ton of money. Sandy is back, and he has some good guesses as to what the clues mean for him and his partner, Judge Ford. But as they're talking, they realize that Sam Westing's out to get someone, and they don't know who. So they have agreed that it's probably a good idea to just ignore these clues and try to figure out who Sam Westing was out to get, because they need to protect that person. Crow, Bertha Erica Crow, has lost her clues and is acting even more strange than she usually does. Remember, she dresses all in black, and she's super religious, which is not the strange part. It's just how she's kind of creepy and within herself, and she kind of talks like this, and it's really weird. Chris Theodorakis and Denton Deere are partners, and they figure out that Judge Ford has the same name as her apartment, 4D. So we don't know if that means something or not. And Theo Theodorakis discovers that "May God thy gold refine," which is a quote from the will, comes from the song America the Beautiful. So if you have not read those song lyrics or heard that song, you might want to look up those lyrics for that and see if anything kind of stands out to you. Then when Angela goes to visit Sidel at the hospital, she finds a note in her handbag. Remember, she carries that tapestry handbag. And remember, tapestry is kind of like needlepoint, where it's like embroidered, like really tiny stitches that make like a design. And she finds a note and 2 clues in there, which is "Thy Beautiful" in her handbag. And she has no idea who gave them to her or what they are. In chapter 15, things are getting moderately back to normal. Turtle and Doug and Sandy are trying to discuss how Westing could have been murdered. And Turtle thinks that he looked too peaceful to have been murdered at all. In general, if someone was murdered, it's kind of a chaotic situation. And he just looked really peaceful laying there, and that's what she remembers. So something to think about that. Grace Wexler is planning Angela's wedding shower, her bridal shower, which will be at the Wexler apartment. And then Grace is also suggesting to James Shin-Hu that he change the name of his restaurant, and she wants to change it to Who's on First. And if you've never seen the Abbott and Costello comedy bit, I don't even know what it's called, but I put a link to a tiny clip of it below. So you'll have to kind of click through all of those, and that's in there. So you just watch it. It's just like 2 minutes or something, but you'll get to see why the Who's on First is supposed to be funny. And in general, Grace is not funny. So it's kind of funny that she is the one who comes up with this. And of course, everyone thinks it's a dumb idea, but we're going to see what happens with that. It's a cute bit if you've never seen it before. Later on that evening, Judge Ford and Sandy are looking over their research that they have on the Westing family, because they're trying to figure out who Westing is out to get. And so they have to kind of do some research on the family. So they learn that Violet Westing was supposed to marry a senator, but she drowned on the eve of her wedding. So the night before her wedding, she drowned. Well, it turns out that this senator is a criminal. And it was rumored that Violet took her own life rather than having to marry this man that she didn't love, who was not who she was in love with. So as she's looking through this research that she has, Judge Ford is really disturbed to see how much Violet Westing looks like Angela Wexler. And so now she's worried that history is going to repeat itself. So she's super concerned, like, Violet Westing was supposed to marry someone she didn't love, and she took her own life. Angela Wexler is supposed to marry someone she doesn't love. What is she going to do? So they really need to watch out and kind of keep their eye on her and what's going on with that. And finally, in chapter 16, it is the day of Angela's wedding shower at the apartment. Now remember that Mrs. Hu, Madam Hu, is there. She does not speak very much English at all, and they put her in this old-fashioned Chinese dress, which is like super tight and really uncomfortable, and she is almost as unhappy as the bride-to-be is. Now, if you think about wedding showers, the brides-to-be are like super excited to be there. They're getting all these presents. They're surrounded by people they love. They're going to be getting married, and Angela looks miserable, and so does Madam Hu. Super weird. So Angela starts opening her presents, and she gets that asparagus cooker from Piffy Barf Sprayer or Fart Knocker or whatever, who knows what the crazy name was on there, and it had some cute little rhyme like for the bride to be. I don't know, something dumb. So she's going to open her third present, and Turtle's rushing her. Turtle's like, "Come on, let's go, Angela. Let's go, Angela." And so she starts like opening the present, and Angela like rips it away from her, and like Turtle's like, "What?" Because Angela has cared nothing about opening any of these presents, and she rips it away from her, and it explodes right in Angela's face. So why would Angela be so interested in that present, that it just kind of like yanked it away from her sister? Um, well, of course, everyone is just beside themselves. The bomb squad is called, and it turns out that the bomb was made out of fireworks. So, not really something deadly, but definitely something to make a statement. Angela is rushed to the hospital, and she's put in the same room as Sidel Pulaski, her injured partner. Now, if that's really going to happen in real life, it does not, but that's okay. And when her family comes to visit her in the hospital, Turtle brings her tapestry bag with her and tells her, like, whispers in, and she goes, "That was a really dumb idea, Angela." And like saying, "Hey, I know it was you that did it." And Sidel's pretending to sleep, and she's like, and then like closes her eyes real fast, and she's like, "Well done, partner." Like she's impressed with Angela because she just thought Angela was kind of like, this little, mousy girl that, couldn't stand up for herself, and here she's doing something like this. And then we've now discovered that Angela, which nobody suspected to be, is the bomber. Okay, so now in 17 through 20, you're going to learn a lot more about a lot of the characters, and you're going to find out their connection to Westing. You have to pay attention to that. Okay, I'm going to post something at the end of all of it after the final quiz, hopefully, that kind of gives you a breakdown of all the characters and like who they are and their connection to Westing and that. So hopefully that kind of keeps you up to date on what happened. I know some of you aren't reading through all of the summaries from the last chapters, which is fine, I guess. It just kind of reminds you of what happened in the previous chapters, because remember, we're not there to talk about things together. My last week's video was not a very good one. I was super rushed to get it done, so I wanted to do this one earlier so I could get it out there for you guys. I know some people might be going up north or going out of town for Memorial Weekend, and I wanted to have it ready for you guys today. So, just know I miss you. I hate not being at school. I know we all hated having to get up early and couldn't wait for our next vacation, but this is too long and it just doesn't feel right. So know that you are loved and you are missed, and message me or join a video chat or something. I miss your faces. Talk to you soon.